Good evening, it's Saturday, the 22nd of November. You're tuned in to our late night newscast, coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. I'm Mark Broome. Our top story tonight, Korean Prime Minister Chung Hong-won has left for a week-long economic diplomacy tour to Egypt, Morocco and Azerbaijan. The Prime Minister's office says Chung is scheduled to meet with his Egyptian counterpart, Ibrahim Mahlab, this weekend to push the benefits of Korean firms working with Egypt on its huge nuclear reactor construction project, as well as on defence-related activities. Leaving Egypt on Monday, Chung will fly to Morocco for talks with his Moroccan counterpart on ways to boost ties in the fields of construction, industrial plants and also renewable energy. The final leg of his trip will see Chung in Azerbaijan on Wednesday. Officials say he'll hold talks with President Ilham Aliyev on infrastructure and defence-related projects. Prime Minister Chung is due to return to Seoul next Saturday. North Korea is believed to be making progress in developing a new kind of ballistic missile. This time it seems to be an underwater submarine-based one, and some defense officials in the US say Pyongyang has already begun some kind of preliminary testing. Our Connie Lee reports.
This is a satellite image of North Korea's test facility, the Sinpo South Shipyard. In the middle of the photo is a launching test stand where it's believed North Korea conducted a test of an ejection launcher in late October for its submarine-launched ballistic missile program. The report from the conservative American online news site, The Washington Free Beacon, cites two unidentified U.S. defense officials for the information. It says the test simulated the initial stage of boosting a missile out of a submarine launch tube. The officials say it's a sign Pyongyang is making progress on its underwater missile technology. The report comes a couple of weeks after South Korean military sources said Pyongyang had launched a refurbished Soviet-era submarine, and about a month after the Sinpo test facility was first revealed by 38 North, a U.S.-based website that analyzes satellite imagery of North Korea's military and nuclear sites. Experts say a submarine-launched missile would give North Korea the ability to strike the mainland United States. The Washington Free Beacon quotes a former intelligence official who says that because of technical challenges, it could be years before North Korea is successful. But with the help of foreigners, such as the Russians, progress could be sped up. Connie Lee, Arirang News.
And staying with North Korea, and a shocking new report reveals the North Korean regime makes up to $2 billion every year from the forced labour of its citizens abroad. The Asan Institute for Policy Studies report, based on research done in 2013, says around 50,000 North Koreans are working as slaves overseas in 16 different countries, including Russia and China. Researchers say the workers are rarely paid directly and are constantly under surveillance on site. Those in forced labour are sent by the North Korean regime to do dangerous jobs such as logging or working on construction sites in Siberia. The Institute presented its report on Friday to the Washington-based think tank Stimson Center. Prosecutors in Paris have launched a full-scale investigation into the sudden disappearance of a North Korean student linked to the political rivals of the regime's leader, Kim Jong-un. News agency AFP reports a case was opened due to fears the student could be executed if he were forcibly repatriated to Pyongyang. French authorities are still attempting to work out if he escaped the clutches of suspected North Korean agents and is still in France. The student, identified only by his family name Han, has not been seen for over 2 weeks. He is the son of a close aide to Jang Song-taek, Kim Jong-un's uncle, who was purged and then swiftly executed late last year on charges of treason. Han's father was also executed recently as part of the regime's continued liquidation of Chang's inner circle. The Somalian militant group Alshabab has killed 28 people after hijacking a bus in northeast Kenya. Local police say the gunmen singled out non-Muslims in the attack, which took place some 50 kilometers from Kenya's border with Somalia. Reports say passengers who could not recite verses from the Quran were ordered to lie down and then shot dead. The Kenyan government claims security agencies are in pursuit of the killers. No group has claimed responsibility for the ambush, but local authorities say they are certain it was the Somali-based terror group. Now, to the latest from the United States, where the immigration debate is front and centre. Yet again, President Barack Obama has vowed to never give up in his push for further immigration reform. Speaking in Las Vegas on Friday, Obama said he was going to keep working to make permanent reform a reality. Using his executive powers this week in that address you're seeing now, Obama laid out plans which will ensure 5 million illegal immigrants in America will now be allowed to stay and work. The Republicans continue to condemn the president for bypassing Congress. House of Representatives Speaker John Boehner says the Republicans are looking at all options available to them, but he stressed the party will react very strongly. Many Republicans believe Obama's action will encourage more people to enter the country unlawfully. Now, 10 or 20 years ago, it would be hard to imagine the technology we take for granted these days, such as smartphones and the like. So what might be coming down the line technology-wise in the future? Well, two things are taking steps closer to becoming reality. They are a kind of Harry Potter-style invisibility cloak and gadgets that will let you watch 3D objects floating in space from any angle, like those seen in Star Wars movies. And researchers say they hope this technology can be used for scientific and practical applications as well. Shin Se-min reports.
Doctors can now examine patients without having to physically examine them. Take this case, for instance, of a woman who is experiencing pain after falling down some stairs. She reaches out for help, and a doctor is there, giving her his undivided attention. This is all possible even if they're not in the same room, because the patient is an avatar made of a 3D hologram. Body type, weight, and even the patient's blood pressure are virtually mirrored.
So our software allows you to use virtual patients that are much more flexible. They can represent everything you see in a real hospital, and they can do that for a fraction of the price.
Doctors that use the equipment can remotely examine patients, receive data, and analyze their symptoms. Harry Potter's magical invisibility cloak has also become more of a reality. Researchers at the University of Rochester have discovered a way to hide objects from view. Called the Rochester Cloak, the device is made of 4 lenses that can make something look invisible based on changing points of view. And the key behind this cloaking technique is the distance between the lenses.
This is the first device that we know of that can do 3-dimensional, continuously multi-directional cloaking, which works for transmitting rays in the visible spectrum.
With more high-tech innovations making their way into our real lives, demand and anticipation is growing as to what big invention will come next. Shin Se-min, Arirang News.
Now, 3 of Korea's national parks have been added to an international list of protected areas. And this is especially welcome news, as this list is the global standard for maintaining and taking care of natural areas all around the world. Our Son Jung-in reports.
Jirisan National Park, which includes the second highest mountain in Korea, is the country's first national park. The mountain is considered by many as a treasure chest of nature that boasts beautiful seasonal scenery. Designated as a Biosphere Preservation District by UNESCO, Seoraksan National Park is home to flora and fauna that attract tourists all year round. It is also internationally recognized for its rare plant and animal species. Odaesan, which means Five Plains Mountain, is acknowledged for maintaining a healthy ecosystem. The mountain is often compared to North Korea's Mount Kumgang for its scenic landscapes. These three national parks were officially registered on the Green List set by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, which recognizes natural areas that are well protected and benefit the well-being of people.
We have a reference group which is made up of scientists that know the situation of the country well, and they can evaluate what needs to be done.
23 sites from 8 countries, including Korea, China, and France, were added to the list after meeting a demanding set of criteria that includes effective management and long-lasting conservation outcomes.
These well-maintained national parks were acknowledged by an international group, which raises our level of confidence.
Korea aims to have up to 10 more sites added to the list to enhance Korea's image as a leading country in the field of environment. 손정인, Arirang News.
And before we go, leaving you with a brief look at the weather in Korea. It's been a fairly wet day, not to say it's been raining though across most of the region, but the rest of the weekend should be dry and actually pretty mild for this time of year. That said, the overnight low tonight will drop to a chilly 2 degrees Celsius in Seoul. We'll see temperatures in the low to mid-teens nationwide on Sunday under partly cloudy skies. And finally, for our viewers overseas, let's take a look at the weather conditions in your part of the world. Well, those are the stories we have for you at this hour. For more of the latest, don't forget to either download our smartphone application, or you can either go to our website, arirang.co.kr/news. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.